Welcome back to More Music Por Favor Presents, the place for more music and the stories behind it. Today we're diving into why vinyl outsells CDs in 2026, and the answer might surprise you. It's 2026. You can access 100 million songs instantly, every album ever made sitting in your pocket. So why did vinyl sales just hit $1.4 billion while CDs dropped to barely 500 million? Why are people paying $30 for a single album on a format from the 1940s? The simple answer: sound quality and nostalgia. But stick around because the real answer goes so much deeper than that. This is a story about what happens when we realize something's missing and we go searching for it. Let's rewind to understand the journey. 1988, vinyl is dying. CDs are the future, shiny, pristine, indestructible. By the mid-90s, vinyl was basically dead. Only the diehards kept their turntables. Then came the 2000s and the digital revolution. Napster, iTunes, Spotify. Music became infinite. And honestly, it was incredible. But around 2007, something unexpected started happening. Vinyl sales began climbing, slowly at first. Record store day became a thing. Indie bands pressed limited runs. By 2020, vinyl outsold CDs for the first time since 1986. And here we are in 2026 with vinyl absolutely dominating the physical format war. Now, if you ask the industry, they'll tell you two things: sound quality and nostalgia. And you know what? Those are part of the story. Let's talk about the sound first, because it matters. There is something real happening with analog audio. Vinyl captures the complete waveform, every harmonic, every subtle overtone. Digital audio, no matter how high resolution, is ultimately a series of samples, snapshots of sound. Now, can most people hear the difference on most systems? Probably not. But here's the thing. The difference isn't always about what you hear with your ears. There's a warmth to vinyl, a presence. Some engineers describe it as the music having body. You feel it in your chest differently. Is that the analog warmth? The slight compression? The ritual making you pay more attention? Honestly, it's probably all of it. And for the audiophiles out there who've invested in a serious setup, a quality turntable, a good cartridge, a proper amp, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're not imagining it. That $8,000 rig reveals things that streaming just can't touch. But here's where it gets interesting. That's not why most people are buying vinyl. Here's where it gets wild. A recent study showed that nearly 1 in 3 people buying vinyl don't even own a turntable yet. They're buying the record and streaming it while they save up for a decent setup. At first I thought that was crazy, but then I talked to these collectors and it clicked. They're not buying music, they're buying ownership, connection, a piece of art they can hold. Not access it, not stream it, own it. Here's what vinyl offers that streaming never can. It's yours. It exists in physical space. You can hold it, display it, lend it to a friend who needs to hear it. It's not dependent on a subscription or a server farm or whether Spotify decides to keep paying the licensing fee. But there's something even deeper happening. Think about how you discover vinyl. You walk into a record store, not browse a website, walk into a physical space. The smell of cardboard and dust. Other people digging through crates. Someone playing something you've never heard through the store speakers. You strike up a conversation with a stranger about whether the original pressing sounds better. The person behind the counter sees what you're buying and says, "Oh, if you like that, you have to check this out." That's not an algorithm. That's human connection over shared passion. And then there's that moment. You're flipping through a bin, not really expecting anything, and then your hand stops. There it is, an original pressing you've been hunting for months, or an album you loved in high school that you thought was lost forever, or something you've never heard of, but the cover art just speaks to you. Your heart actually speeds up a little. That's not nostalgia, that's the thrill of discovery. You can't get that feeling from clicking Add to Library. You take your find home. Maybe you already know the album. Maybe you're taking a chance based on the cover art or that conversation. You clear space in your evening. You slide it out of the sleeve, carefully, only touching the edges like you're handling something sacred. You drop the needle, and for the next 20 minutes, you're locked in. Not because you can't skip, you can, it's just annoying, but because you made a choice. You chose this album, you committed to this experience. Your phone is face down. The album plays front to back, the way the artist agonized over the sequence. You read the liner notes, you study the art, you notice things you missed the first 100 times you streamed it. That's not nostalgia, that's intentionality. Here's what nobody wants to admit. Streaming gave us everything and cost us something precious. We gained infinite access. We lost connection. When every song ever recorded is available instantly for free, music becomes background, wallpaper, disposable. You skip after 15 seconds if the intro doesn't grab you. Algorithms decide what you hear. I'm not saying streaming is bad. I use it constantly. But somewhere in the last 15 years, we stopped sitting with music. We stopped letting albums unfold. We stopped going deep. And I think part of us misses that. Vinyl brings it back. Not because it's superior technology, it's objectively worse in most ways. It brings it back because of the friction. The inconvenience is the point. Having to flip the record, having to clean it, having to dedicate space in your home and time in your day. That friction creates meaning. CDs lost because they had all of vinyl's inconveniences with none of its romance. They were just a delivery mechanism, a stepping stone we've now stepped past. But vinyl represents something we're hungry for in 2026. Things that are real, tangible, permanent, experiences that demand presence, art that takes up space and matters. So why does vinyl outsell CDs in 2026? Because vinyl offers what our digital world can't: ownership, ritual, community, and connection. It's the sound quality for some, the nostalgia for others. But for most people, it's something harder to define. It's the feeling of having a relationship with music again, instead of just consuming it. Here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to choose. Stream on your commute. Discover new artists through Spotify. Let YouTube's algorithm surprise you. But maybe, once in a while, pick an album. One album. Give it your full attention. Let it play the way it was meant to be heard. Whether that's on vinyl or just your headphones with your phone in another room. The format doesn't matter as much as the intention. Vinyl is just teaching us something we forgot. Music is sacred, and sacred things deserve our presence. That's the story behind why vinyl outsells CDs in 2026. If you loved this, hit subscribe to More Music Por Favor for fresh tracks every week and more episodes of More Music Por Favor Presents. Drop a comment. Are you team vinyl, team streaming, or both? What's an album that changed your life? Gracias y hasta la próxima.